Hello. Can you guys hear me? Hopefully you can hear me because this is a new computer. So, how are you guys doing? Can you hear me? Go ahead and type if you could tell me whether you can hear me or not. Yep. Awesome. Okay. Yay. So I got this new computer and I hadn't really used it for a live yet. So I'm glad I was able to. So this is going to be a quick, short little stream because I do have to get to work. But I will set the stage for you. And I have notes. So I went to the bookstore that I read at here it's in Laconia. And I went to the bookstore and I always find it amusing when there is coincidences in readings, like they kind of have a theme for the day. And that day's theme was people were feeling really ungrounded. They said, one person said she felt really ungrounded. Good morning, Miss Candy. And by the way, good morning, Richie's. Thank you so much for helping me out this morning and saying you're being here. And Denise, so I appreciate it. I know this is not my typical time on coming on. But so anyways, so I was doing these readings and one lady said, and she was an older lady, and she said, I've always been really connected, but lately I just feel so disconnected. Like I just feel like I'm on top of clouds. And I could really understand that because there was a time where I too felt that way. Hello, Gerald. Once again, this will be a quick live. But she talked about how disconnected she kind of felt. And I heard that several times throughout the readings that morning or that day. And then another thing that I heard that day was people were, and those of us who've been in this field for a while have heard this a lot. I'm stepping into my truth. I feel like I'm being called, but I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm supposed to do something more, but I don't know what to do. Hello, Fatima. So that was one of the things that was kind of repetitive as well was, crazy energy, feeling ungrounded, and feeling the call. And it's very odd. So I wasn't planning on going on live today, but as I was getting dressed for work, all of a sudden I heard you have to do a small little video about this. And so they kept giving me like little words. So that's when I did write it down because I didn't want to forget. And then they just said, have a quick video and see who shows up. And that's, who needs to hear it at that moment. And those that need to hear it later on, it'll be good. But I'm very curious for those that hear it later on, your comments in reference to this, especially the next part that I'm going to say. So when they were talking about feeling that call and feeling the need to do something, feeling the need to step forward, in my brain, because those of you that know how I work, I see in pictures. I saw two pictures, and what came to me was stepping forward. And it was very awesome to me to not only have those pictures that day, but to also realize that I was being told this in different ways as well throughout the whole entire week, it seems. But they were talking about stepping forward. And as I was getting dressed, they were giving me times that I had been told this all this week, especially manifesting and stepping forward. And I'll put it together like this. One of the stories that they were telling me is this joke. I'm going to butcher it. I probably will. But this joke basically says that Oh yeah, times are, yeah, they are changing, and it feels different. So, one of the things that this joke talks about is there's a guy on a roof who is just praying to God that he gets saved. And he's praying, and all of a sudden this tube just comes down and floats kind of to the house, and it's floating there and floating in there, and this guy just keeps praying and praying, and the tube sooner or later floats off. A little while later, he's still praying on this roof, and all of a sudden this kind of raft comes by, and it's sort of, how could you describe it? I can see it in my head. I wish I'll describe it to you guys. You could probably help. It's like when you get a big shipment of stuff, and it's this wood kind of made of pine, I think, and they put it underneath this big heavy thing, and people build things from it. So anyway, so that thing comes by, and it just kind of floats there and floats there, and it just disappears. And he's still praying and praying and praying. Pallet. Thank you, Candy. It was a pallet. And so a little while later, they show me this plywood comes by, and the plywood just sits there for a while, and it's floating and floating, and finally it goes away. Well, the man dies. And so when he's up in heaven, he's asking, why didn't you, I prayed so hard. I prayed so hard. And he goes, well, why didn't you help me? And God says, well, I did. I sent you the raft, the plywood, the pallet, and you didn't get on it. What were you expecting? The boat? Were you expecting the boat and the helicopter? And I think all too often what Spirit was putting together was the fact that when we're stepping into this, feeling the call, and by the way, hi to everybody who's just out there and hasn't said anything. When we're feeling that call, I think all too often we're waiting for the perfect time, when it feels right, when job, and I'm guilty of this too, when we're maybe financially secure or something like that, whatever your thing is, which then turned into the manifesting that we do. We're praying for something, we're putting it out there that we want this. And I always use the analogy of you can't win the lottery unless you win the ticket. And I said that a lot during my readings this last week. It was like, whether it was relationship wise, people were wanting relationships, and it's like, but what are you doing to actually get that relationship? You're sitting at home. He's not going to knock on the door, or she is not going to knock on the door. And it kind of tied it into my head where, it's great to manifest these changes that you want in your life. And it's great to have this feeling, and right now they're talking to me about something that I heard in just conversation wise that they're giving back to me to say, which was a woman had this idea of this book, and she had this idea. She really wanted to write it. She was, hi, Jane. She was really fearful of starting, and where would she start, and what would she do, and who was going to believe her. She didn't have the background, she didn't have this, she didn't feel confident, so she didn't do it. She was waiting for the perfect moment. And what ended up happening is someone else had written that book, the exact title and everything that she wanted to put out there. And Spirit is going to send you those rafts. Spirit's going to send you those tubes. Spirit's going to send you those pallets. And it's up to you to jump, So stepping forward, just making sure that you're stepping forward, and it doesn't have to look pretty, and it doesn't have to look perfect. When we go back to the energy, and I have always been told that, this is religious, or not the religious, but the political, that I'm not can't step in that energy. And I respect everyone that is able to do that and to be a part of that. Just keep manifesting. And I know that it's hard right now, and I know that it's scary right now, but they just keep saying shine light in that whole situation. There's a lot going on, because we're going to have this shift. So you're seeing the fires, the hurricanes, the upheaval of countries. They're showing me tanks, they're showing me water, they're showing me, just all of it that's happening right now. It's like, this is all, even though it's so heavy and it's so sad and it's so thick. That's a good way to say it. Thick. The energy is thick and stagnant and scary, and that it has a purpose. And so we need to manifest. Good morning, heavenly blessed honey. We need to manifest and look beyond that, and think positive thoughts that things are going to calm down, that things are going to get better. Because I think when we focus and we stay in this fear and this, whatever some people are feeling, we tend to, that's where we get stagnant, because we keep asking for more of that. So, if you could, my guides are saying, try to spend a little bit of time sending love, sending light, sending good vibes to everyone out there, in hopes that we can change this in a different way. So I want to know, how's everybody been? It's been a while since I've been on. How are you? What is everyone up to? Those of you that have a channel, what do you have going on? I will be on, let's see, I will be on Gerald's channel. I believe it is, let me check calendar. The 18th, I believe we will be on, and we will be on Tarot Stash's channel talking about light language with JJ and Gerald. So anybody else got, let's see, absolutely. Every time a fear thought enters, bless it with light, love, and compassion. Yep. I mean, we just got to even out the, they just say even out the teeter-totter. That's what it is. So let's see. Gerald's been well and has a lot of wonderful shows planned. You are busy, my friend. So, yes. I've got an alarm set because, like I said, this was a fleeting need to do this, have to do this. And it was, preaching, doing what I put or preached or said, I got to follow it, even though that, I'm like, I'm trying to get dressed for work. I have to be to work in a little while. So light language on Thursday, the 18th, which is awesome. And you'll see more of me. I am hoping to bring on to my channel people that you haven't seen before. Let's see. Fatima says, always send love and light and bless to everyone. So for my channel, I want to continue with Tarot Stash, doing those lives. I looked at, let's see, is that the time change, or is it that we are changing? I think it's a little both, Richies. I really do. I think that we're changing because some of us are stepping into that power, and that power doesn't have to be, like some of us who have our channels and are preaching this way, or I say preaching, but I don't really like that word, but that are are speaking our truth and trying to help people find some guidance. And the way that the picture that I always get in my head is being on a ladder and going up the ladder, and then the person that's up there is always reaching down to help the next person up. So I feel that that's what we do. But those of us that are being asked to step up, that are asked to step into their truth, I think because of the fact that we have more people that are willing to open their eyes and see things in a spiritual kind of nature, and start understanding that we're all connected. I think that is what makes the time change. So it's a little bit of both, that we're changing and things around us are changing. Let's see. Mars is still focused on regaining her health and fitness. 1 year carnivore, tons of healing on all levels, hiking again, gratitude every day. Mars, I am too going back on the carnivore diet. For those of you that don't know, when I moved to Mass, I actually got diagnosed with chronic Lyme. So apparently I've had Lyme disease for 20 years, and that is actually a diet that helps me and doesn't make me as sick, which is very weird. But hey, I get it. I understand, Mars. I understand why you choose that, and I'm that way too. Let's see. Jane's laying down low for a bit. It was a message from my guides. Just live a couple of weeks. Yep, learning new tools. Well, and that's exactly what I've been told, is that those of us who are already, you've got the newer people that are stepping up. It's like this wave or this shift. You have new people that are stepping up into their purpose, their power. You have those of us who have been walking that path, finding new direction and new places to go. So that'll be interesting. And so, what they show me is those of us who are already doing this are going to get some new, they show me new badges, other people, a completely new path. And then I've got some people that get handed new tools, and I'm watching one person who was working with their hands. Now this vibration is coming out of their mouth. I would think that would be, some people are going to get light language. So it's very cool to see that, So trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go, feeling stuck and restless for a while. So Candy, this is probably, if you didn't catch the beginning, this is exactly what we're, kind of talking about, as some of you guys are feeling that way. And it really is step forward, just step forward. Any step is a good step, but standing stagnant will only get you more stagnancy, and then you can't go forward. So, anybody have any questions? I guess I could do a few readings. I still got a little bit of time. Anything out there? I'll give it a moment because I know there's a lag, but yeah. And you're going to see more of me. I'm just, you are going to see more of me. I'm going to make the time to do this. Hello, hugger greeter. How are you? Yeah, if you have any questions, just go ahead and put it in. I'll do some readings. So let me check my phone. Sometimes the phone comes in faster. When I can get the chat on there. Oh, there we go. Okay. So any questions? Anybody message from their spirit guides or anything like that? Oh, you know what? I'm just going to, Jane, if you're still here, question, where's stuff going? Where do I look? Okay, let me start that. Jane, if you are still here, it is very odd because I'm picking up that you may want to do, it's a great thing that you're doing that self-care and taking the time out for yourself, but it's very odd because they show you yourself, like for me, I would go get a massage, but they're saying you yourself need to do some like pressure points or trigger points, especially in your feet. I mean, it's easy to look up, pressure points for your feet, or if you have some place that does it there. But it's really important for you to really, like here's the one. There's certain places in your hands and your feet that affect other things in your ear. They just keep showing me, just places in your ear that you can touch. And I'm going to say this because they're bringing it in, and anybody can use this. So we've talked about this on one of my videos a long time ago. Let me highlight that, Denise and Heavenly. So when you're feeling overwhelmed with other people's energy and you feel like you're just taking on too much, you can swipe like this and tap right here and then swipe. And this is the way to get other people's energy off of you. And then there's some tapping that you can for whoever. Hello, Miss Charlotte. How are you? Whoever needs to hear this, there's tapping that can go on. And so right here, okay. And then at the top, right by your third eye, there's this. Understand, if you do this, this will clear out your sinuses, but this is actually a tapping place. There's right here, and it can go right in your collar, like right around your collarbone. And they also call this this is a butterfly tap when you cross your arms and you do it this way. Okay. Somebody out there needs to know how to relieve the anxiety, which is this one right here. You just press right here, and this is a relief for anxiety. Richie, let me highlight that. So anxiety, I don't know who that one's for, but anxiety. Right here, I'm going to I'm sitting cross-legged, but let me get up. Right here, which is underneath your bra strap for us ladies. This is a relief kind of pressure point here that you can hit and tag on. Another one that you can do is, and this one can hurt sometimes. So let me back this up without dropping it. I'm being lazy and not getting up. Okay, if you were to stand up and you were to rub right here all the way down where the crease of your pants would be. So if you were to rub all the way down, that's some pressure points and release points that need to happen there. So that's a good one too to hit. And that can be painful when you do it. It's like I usually just rub my wrists in there pretty intensely and just go down like that. But that can be very painful. So yeah. Okay. So for whatever reason, Jane, that any of those pressure points or any of those things. Okay, let me find my glasses so I can read these. All right. Okay, weird stuff going on. This is Mars. Weird stuff going on where I live. Do I need to move sooner rather than later? You know what I would honestly say? So I'm going to try to find this. Because this is what I'm getting, and I don't know how I can get this to you, so I'll read it out loud as soon as I find it. What I see is vortexes. Vortexes in the place. It does not matter what your belief system is. there is a prayer for clearing, prayer for a person or a thing. And what this prayer is, and here you go, Mars, and you may have to rewind this and do it, but it says, Great Spirit, guardian angels, spirit guides, bless. You can put this place, this person, you can put this area, whatever, however you want to say it. Bless this state, the condition. So the negative energy, the negative vortexes, negative entities, etc., to bring healing, harmony, and balance to, whether it's a place, whether it's a person, you would put their name in there, or like the bathroom. It's really weird because for some reason I see the bathroom. So bless this. It would be like, let's just pretend it's the bathroom. The balance, or bring this balance to the bathroom in my home and all of my home, complete and to complete, sorry, I can't see that, being physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, energetically. I ask that this positive energy that is now infused here remain indefinitely for the good of all. Thank you for your love, help, and support. And I'll read that all again, even with the blank spaces. So, Great Spirit, guardian angels, spirit guides, please bless this to bring healing, harmony, balance to, and to complete being physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, energetically. I ask that this positive energy is now infused here and remain indefinitely for the good of all. Thank you for your love, support. Amen. So you might want to try that, Mars. It really definitely helps me. And there is another prayer that I have, which is really great for healing the spaces. This is a Spanish prayer that my mom taught me when I was younger, and we actually changed it into a, vortex at the end of the street. Yeah. This is a Spanish prayer that we changed it into English. So I will read that to you. I like to use both of these in conjunction when I'm healing a space or trying to heal negative energy. And they're really, really good. And it doesn't matter what your spiritual belief is. So it says, for the three nails of the divine teachers whose powers are infinite, I ask that you block and protect me from all negative forces which surround me. Protect me from anything that doesn't have my highest and best good. Allow me to stay in your light, even in the dream state. Blessed be the Father for his infinite protection. Blessed be the Son for his power. Blessed be the Holy Spirit for his knowledge. I invoke these powers, guard and protect me as a divine shield. Amen. So there's two things that you can use. Two prayers that you can use. And like I said, it doesn't really matter what your spiritual belief is. They really do help because, yeah, I mean, it is tough out there where you're at, Mars. And I'm not going to say that, no, don't move, but I think that protecting yourself, protecting your space, protecting your area first and foremost is essential. And then really kind of decide where you want to go from there. Because they show you just throwing a rock and then, it's kind of like decide where you want to go, which way you want to be, and then you'll get that. Okay. So hopefully that helped, Mars. Let's see. I have a message from my guides and angels, heavenly blessed honey. Oh, let's see. Heavenly blessed honey. It is really awesome for you. It's awesome and very weird. So I don't believe I've ever read for you before. So the way that I work is I just kind of look out, and I don't know how old you are, but when I was growing up, there were posters and they had little dots everywhere. And those little dots would turn into something. So I stare off at a wall outside. There's a coat. I mean, it's whatever catches my eye. So anyways, what I have for you is this feeling that in some places there's some stagnancy. And it is really great because when I get that picture of um, being up on a podium, so getting the gold medal, it's like you're passing something, you've arrived somewhere, you've made it, you've done it. Now we're getting something different. And so they show me like a gust of wind, something is going to come in. And it's very important because they have your eyes open, looking for it. This is exactly what we talked about earlier today. They have you looking for something specific, and it may come in like a gust of wind. So pay attention to not only what you see, what you hear, what you feel, because you're one of those ones that are going to get an upgrade, a new gift, a new something, but it may not come in the way that you think it is. So don't grasp it. They want to touch on some things that have been difficult or hard. Does any of this make sense to you? Let's see. May I ask for prayers for my daughter, 41, who's been in the hospital? She has a stroke. Okay. So yes, anybody that's paying attention, please send Sophia love and light, and send her healing, because that is really important right now. So yes, there's some new things that are happening, new things coming through. It'll be good. I think I need to plug in my computer because it just shifted. The light just shifted. So we'll plug it in just to make sure. So just be prepared for that, Heavenly. New things coming in for you, new ways to do things. I really think she's going to be okay. Feel like she's going to be all right. Are things going to be 100% the way they were before? No, there's some changes that she'll have to get used to or do, but this will be something like she's going to be all right. So we'll send her love, light, and lots of Reiki and healing, if everybody that can please keep her there. Okay. Awesome. I'm glad it resonates with you. Okay. Let's see. I'd like to know what message Spirit has for me, Denise. You're one of those, it's really weird. So I had to stop looking at the tent because your picture of the tent kept dragging me. So you're also one of these ones that has got some things going on, and however this fits in your situation, it is really about manifesting those new things that you want to see come. And the reason I say that is because there is something about you that, yeah, you get what you need, or you get what you want, you get these things, but you could go for more. It's like, it's very weird. Instead of having a carrot right here and they have me reaching right here where I can reach, they literally extend my arm out and pull it so far out. And then my arm is like, doot, 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 like, what's his name? Anyways, Inspector Gadget or the Bionic Man, and my arm just goes out like this, and then I grab this carrot and pull it closer. So it's like, reach for more, reach for those things over there. Don't just settle for what's right here. There's a stagnancy that has been going on. And if this makes sense to you, there's like this, it's not a bad stagnancy. So what stagnancy always shows up as a picture of me standing in a swamp, standing in the swamp, and not being able to move. Now, if it's a really bad stagnancy, it'll smell bad. I'll be wanting to struggle, but it won't let me do that. So you're not in some of those things that you have, it's almost like there's this stagnancy, but it's in an okay stagnancy. It's because just not being 100% fulfilled. Does that make sense, Denise? Because it's not being 100%, but it's not something that, you could change it or you could not change it. It's not going to be anything that, I really feel like it could be job related. Like, this is okay. I mean, it's not everything you want, but it pays the bills and it's okay. And so I would say manifest, if there's a situation like that in your life, manifest something that makes it better, that makes it more tolerable, that makes it, because you don't have to walk away from it. It's just not 100%. Okay. So not something I would say it's your choice. But if it's filling the cup, then why would you want to dump it just because it doesn't have, they show me a cup of coffee, like filling up the coffee, but there's no cream around. You're not going to throw that coffee out because you really want the coffee and you really want the jolt of the caffeine. So don't throw it out. Because you can still have coffee, just kind of manifest that somebody comes to you with the cream and the sugar. So that's what I would say. And, and like I said, it goes back to what we were saying earlier today. It really is a matter of manifesting those things that you want to pull it into your life and actually reaching out for it. So you can't win the lottery unless you buy the ticket. So hopefully that resonates with you, Denise. So, okay, we're trucking right along here. Gotta look at the time. Oh, I'm going to have to go pretty soon. So I'm going to do Richie Reach and Candy. So Karen, do you know if you have a past life in Egypt or times around the pyramids? When you speak your light language, I usually pyramids or with the pharaoh image. Okay, so in my, I guess I should explain. So I was blessed to have a mom that taught me how to read cards when I was 14. I was raised very spiritual. And if you ever caught, I don't know what it was called. I had a friend named Anthony who came on, and I would love to have him on again, but he's in Vegas and, I'm on the East Coast. But anyways, my family was very spiritual. And I was just raised this way. I mean, from a very young age, we would do things. My dad would, I'm going to take this off. So my dad would meditate with us. My mom would, one of the things that we did as a pastime was light a candle. And we would, as kids, try to raise that candle up and put it down. Okay. And I am, Richie, going to answer this, but I need to explain this first. We literally would light candles and try to raise that flame as high as we could get it and then push it down as low as we can get it, even try to get it off. My family, it's weird thinking about growing up like that. My mom would, be thinking of a person and we would have to try to guess to describe that person. This is how I grew up. So you think I would have, when someone gave me some information, I could accept it easily. So one time I was sitting across, this is before I became professional. I was sitting across this woman and she was reading me and she grabs my hands and she said, "Oh, you're connected with the, what do you call it? Sasquatch." And the minute she said that, I was like, this lady's off her rockers. She's like, "Oh yeah, and you're connected to the star people." And I was like, I paid money for this. And I I was mad at myself because I picked this reader of all people. And she goes, oh my gosh, you're so connected to the sky people. And then she said, I see you in a pyramid. I see you walking. And she didn't even finish her sentence when I envisioned it in my head. I was walking down a bridge type thing, and the pyramid was in front of me. And I was a little girl, and I was being given to star people because I could speak their language. And I remember one hand being out front and one hand being out back and trying to hold on to my mother. And I remember, and I didn't have a sense of fear going forward. I just didn't want to lose my mother. And so it is funny that, yes, I do have past lives in Egypt. They are with the pyramid. I do feel like starseed. It's something that I myself am still wrapping my brain around, because we each have our own things that we're fearful of or scared of or don't want to. Mine is, who wants to look like a weirdo? And I don't want to think people thinking I'm weird. I speak this language, so I'm still getting over that. But yes. And it's funny that you should talk about that, because the other day I decided, let me see if I could find this envelope, because I wrote it on this envelope. I decided I really wanted to know where, must be down there. I really wanted to know where the light language came from. And so I picked specific words. It was I'm going to have to find that. Maybe I'll see if I could find it, and we'll talk about it on Gerald's YouTube when we specifically talk about light language. But it was pretty interesting where some of those words came from. But yes, 100% attached to pharaohs and pyramids. And I've done meditations where I have specifically been in pyramids, the Great Pyramid of Giza. And I remember being there 100%. I'm doing healings. I'm singing in a different language. I'm putting my hands into people. So yes, 100%. So, Candy, it is, your message is very odd, because I've never seen this. Because I see you beating this drum, like beating this drum. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So I would ask that you yourself, oh, cool. I'm just reading the comments. Oh, yes. When I'm speaking light language, you're often levitating. I don't even feel like I'm in my body. So, that's cool. Rome. So anyways, Candy, when I focus on you, it's like you're beating this drum. And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, because immediately what I get for you, and I want to say this first, that I say this lovingly, that when I get a white picket fence in my head, that always means boundaries to me. I look at what beating the drum means, and to me, it means to continue to beat your drum. When I put those two together, I would say continue with your boundaries. I see a white picket fence that's solid in some areas, and it's just wonky and will just blow right over with the wind very quickly. You've I don't know why they're saying this or what this means to you. It's only meant for you, but you've come a long way in some places. And, I'm wondering if this one person keeps popping in my head. But anyways, you've come a long way. in some aspects of your life, and in certain things, just keep diligent about your boundaries and about what your expectations are and what you will and will not do. Does that make sense to you, Candy? um, they want to make sure that you just keep being strong, you keep being the person that you need to be. So, all right, well, listen, it is 9:59 and my alarm is about to ring. So, I'm trying to figure out and build on my boundaries. Yes. So just keep doing it. The thing is I think what helped me, because those of you that know me, I mean, I haven't been on very much in the last 3 years, um, is really staying alone, not really putting anybody in my life, um, really figuring out what was important to me and what I fell in love with me, and I dated me, and I took care of me. And all of those times that people told me I couldn't make it and I couldn't do it without them, and all of this, it was like, it took a while. But what they're showing me, Candy, is you too need to do that, to go back and figure out in your head, what have you heard, and look at your life on a different perspective. I mean, when I was growing up, my dad wasn't the nicest. I mean, yeah, we did the spiritual stuff, but it was always, there was a lot of abuse, there was a lot of hard stuff I grew up with. And I had to go through that and figure out why I had such boundaries around certain things. And so, that's what they're asking you to do, is figure out where these bad boundaries came from. Because one of the things that everybody needs to understand, those of us that are healers, we're healers. We're not doormats. Okay. You're not here to let everybody wipe your feet on you, And so even though, some of us are used to just having people take advantage of us, it's, you got to put you first. I'm a different person than when I was 3 years ago, 100%. And that's what they're saying, is like, you got to do that same thing, is process where all of this misinformation came from, so that you could redo it, reinvent it, reformulate it in your brain. But the only person that can do that is you. There's no magic pill. There's no, yes, I'm not saying go out there and get some help if you need professional help. That's not what I'm saying. If you need professional help, get that counseling, get those things. But you're the one that has to do the work and fight the fight. Nobody else can do that for you. There's not going to be, it's really funny because they show there's nobody coming into your life with the cape that's going to fix it. You have to be your own strength and your own advocate of change and what's important to you. So hopefully, Candy, and whoever else that resonates with you, hopefully that helps and you understand what that's all about. So thank you guys very much for popping in. Please make sure you give a thumbs up, and please make sure you leave some comments, because that is how we all get kind of up on the thing. So thank you very much. I love you. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Talk to you later.